How long have we been brushing cashmere and velvet, Brittany? Like, 1 whole minute. I'm so, bored. Me too. But what else can we do? We're like biscuits, so
Welcome back to Kirill Smashes Acting. I'm Kirill, actor, educator, cat enthusiast. Today we're going to go over my 3 top tips for making yourself a better actor during the quarantine. Whether we like it or not, all of our lives are a little bit more shut down and smaller than they were before all the quarantine stuff happened. So one way or another, you're stuck at home with a lot more time than you're used to. This is the best time to up your skills as an actor. Obviously, there's many different ways to approach it, but I'm going to go over my 3 top things to make sure you do to come out of this quarantine a better actor than when you came into it. The first one might seem silly, but it is the most important one. Read as many plays as you can. I know every single one of you is looking at the screen and thinking, well,
today's word is obviously. Obviously,
but we're going to go a step deeper. We're going to get you to read as many plays as you can and get them for free and actually make that useful for yourself. So first we have to talk about how do we get these plays for as little money as possible to as free as possible. The best way to get your plays for free is still the library. Every single actor should have a library card. If you are not in high school, not in college, not in grad school, you need a library card. Period. Now I know you can't go to the library right now, but if you don't have a library card already, some places are letting you apply online, so that way you don't have to show up in person to the library. And just as important, you can get your library books for free delivered to you electronically. Now each library has a different collection of electronic books, and your library might not have as many plays as you'd like, but it's still better than zero. The 2 best ways I've found to get ebooks from the library are, number 1, Overdrive. And I'm gonna put the link in the description and the logo right up here. Overdrive is an app that connects to your library system and to your library account and lets you borrow books from the library. You can borrow audiobooks or ebooks for free, and they go right to your app. When you're done with them, you return them and you can borrow more. If something's not available at my library system, my next step is to go to Scribd. That's Scribd, link in the description, logo right up there. Now Scribd, you can get a 30-day free trial, and it is $8 a month after that, but it is well worth it. On top of unlimited reading of all the electronic titles they have, unlimited listening of all the audiobooks they have, there is a section called Documents. Once you search for what you want, it'll give you all the results, and a lot of times, people have uploaded different scripts to Scribd and put them into the document section. So a lot of older titles that might not have electronic releases, you might find in the document section of Scribd. The next most important thing about reading these plays is actually creating a useful database for yourself. Every time you read a play, write down the story synopsis, the characters and their breakdown, and write down any potential scenes or monologue that you might use in your future. You don't have to write down the whole thing, but put down the character and page numbers so that you can go back to it and find that if you ever need something new. The great thing about using your library combined with Scribd is that you'll be able to find a lot of books that would have been either expensive or difficult to find if you actually tried to get the hard copy. Now I know that there are a lot more services out there. These are just the 2 I use to help create my database. If you read even 1 play a week, within a year, that's 52 more plays that you have read, cataloged, and have access to than you would have otherwise. The second best thing that you can do during quarantine to improve your acting is start practicing self-tapes. Now, I'm not saying go out there, buy a ton of equipment, buy an expensive camera and a bunch of lights. You don't need that. Everybody already has a cell phone. And for practice purposes, a cell phone has more than enough use. What you will need is a tripod. You can get a cheap cell phone tripod on Amazon for under $20, as long as it has something to attach your cell phone to, securely of course. You can start practicing self-tapes right away at home. Since you're reading so many new plays, you're going to have a ton of material that you've never done as an actor. To make practice as fun, engaging, and worthwhile as it can be, you should try material you've never used. If you have nobody else in your house, try monologues. Find a monologue, break it down, go through all the steps that we've talked about on this channel, and really attempt a self-tape of that monologue. Once a week, twice a week, that way you can practice getting new material, breaking it down, getting into character, performing as the character, and then dropping out of that character. Because remember, everything we do is a process. The goal of practicing self-tapes is to give yourself the ability to look at the tape after you've acted, find what needs to be tightened, or any relationships might need clarification, or whatever you might need to adjust in the take to make it how you want it. Rehearse the notes you've given yourself, and then tape it again without thinking about your notes while you're in front of the camera. This will give you two priceless skills as an actor. The first one being comfort in front of the camera. Whenever actors are starting to learn acting for the camera technique, it's very difficult for them not to look at the camera in between the takes or when they're supposed to be listening. Practicing and creating that presence in front of the camera is going to make you a lot more confident when you do have to walk in front of a room, knowing that you can snap into your acting mode even when there's a camera, lights, casting director, all that noise around you, yet you can still be focused. That's one of the skills you're going to get. The second benefit you get from practicing self-tapes is that you become a better judge of your own work without getting into your head. Because you can separate the work, watch it, and then work on it, you gain the analytical skills of being able to break down what made your performance strong and what might have been weak. This gives you the ability to adjust it afterwards instead of trying to adjust it as you're rehearsing. You give yourself a goal, you rehearse, you try to hit that goal in the tape, and then you get to see the result and you can make more adjustments. The third and final tip for this video is take care of your instrument. Treat yourself. That seems simple, but your instrument is layered. So first, take care of your instrument physically. Try to get enough sleep. Make sure you're doing your vocal warm-ups, make sure you're doing your speech work, all of those things that you've learned in classes, make sure you are practicing them. Practice is great because then you don't have to think about it when you're actually performing. The second part of the instrument is the mental/emotional part. Make sure that you're working your emotional life by consuming art that gets you excited. Read the plays that move you. Watch movies where the performances or the stories affect you. Keep your emotional availability working even if you're stuck inside by yourself. That also means work on your imagination. Create sets in your own house, maybe from the plays you were reading, and embody these homemade sets with the given circumstances that you're working on. I know that seems like a lot, but we don't know how long we're going to be here. So start making yourself a better actor now, because when this is all over, I promise you're going to be happy you did. I hope you enjoyed that video. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you think might enjoy it or might get a job out of it. For now, say goodnight, Titus. Good night, Titus.